Welcome back to another episode on Happily Ever After. We are
The
the
Raj
Raj family.
family.
This is Happily Ever After Season 2. Season 1, we spoke about different personal things and we also shared about our experiences, what went well, what didn't go well. And then last episode, you saw an episode from the waters. Now, this episode is also something very important and sensitive, especially in this day and age. Recently, we saw research that said 56% of Gen Z have never been in a relationship. And of that, I think 75% in general are not in a hurry to be in a relationship.
Yeah, that's surprising, right?
That is. I mean, we do understand no one has to rush or be in a hurry to get into a relationship, but also relationship plays a role.
Yes. And the reasons why we're not also it's important to kind of consider. So, situationships, what exactly is that? Some know exactly what it is, but others might be like, what is that? Because that's a new term in the past few years.
Yeah. Like situationships are something that I don't have any commitment. I don't have to describe or define the relationship I have with you. Let's see how it goes. If it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, it's okay. We can part ways
So
or
in a
something like
way,
that.
it's like there's that emotional connection, sometimes even some physical connection,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but there's no commitment, there's no direction. Where is that going? And it's basically a very like there's benefits. You kind of feel some good things about having that friend, but it's an interesting situation. That's why it's called situationship because
Situationship.
it's not just a friend platonic, but it's not fully defined as romantic. So it's like in between, correct? And it's like it can be very complicated to explain or for you yourself to truly know what is this where it's going.
And in a general sense, it feels like an easier route to take because I don't have to tell anyone that I'm in a relationship with someone because it doesn't have to be public. I don't have to tell my parents. No one needs to know. It's just a situation and we are good friends, but we can do whatever we think is great.
Part of it, I think it can, I mean, in our generation, millennial, we had a lot introduced on the purity culture, I kiss dating goodbye, a lot of like dating is bad, is evil, so you got to go all the way in or stay out of it. And that I believe through a pendulum on the normality, how God created us to interact as human beings, to an awkwardness and to perfectionism, and then a lot of anxiety, will I marry this person? Can I say yes? How do I talk to their parents? Like a lot of rules to make the getting to know each other or the natural families interacting and to become kind of like taboo because everything has to be perfectly done. You have to guard so much that you cannot basically be human and a friend.
And absolutely, that makes so much sense now that you're sharing it. It has become so complicated. It has come to a point where instead of enjoying each other's company and moving forward, it is like, oh, I cannot be in a relationship because everyone will know now. And if everyone knows, then it will be in my past records if things don't go well. And in a way, it makes sense to be in a situationship.
Like I believe is the correction of
Overcorrection.
this one extreme, of like not dating. Okay, if dating is bad and I don't feel like getting into a committed courtship, then let's find something in between. And I believe consciously or unconsciously society shifted to that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And again, as I said, as a guy who doesn't know how women are or going to respond or where they stand at because you think they are interested in you because they are spending a lot of hours with you and then you are thinking okay they are showing special attention, they are coming for your birthday parties or spending time with you especially than every other friend, and all those things happen and then here you are building your own story. Okay, wow, this is a beautiful thing, amazing, this girl is intentional, all of that, and then one day she will come and say, oh, I see you as a brother, I see you as a good friend, oh, I didn't think anything in that way. And it confuses the guy, and it definitely makes it awkward because here you built a whole story thinking that this girl is intentional. So automatically you feel crushed because all the special things that this girl showed, it's not special anymore because it's just a friendship. And when you have this type of things happen to you every now and then, automatically you feel like I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone. Might as well like just be aloof and be good friends and use opportunities when you get it.
And something else that is coming to my mind, we both attended at different times, but a college that at that time was not allowed to, start relationships in the sense of dating, courtship, nor romantic couples. That to wait until later, until graduation. But we both saw a lot that were brothers and sisters that got married, that are happily
Absolutely.
married with babies and everything. So it's like those things, I think anything taken to extreme will bring a gray zone that can be very confusing, and sooner or later, hopefully it clarifies, but
Yeah.
it's that reality from going like very extreme. If you say yes to someone, you have to marry them, and you as a girl, you cannot initiate. That also has put a lot of girls into like a limbo that they don't know even how to be a friend. They don't even know how to ask questions, how to
Yeah.
interact. So this is a real problem in our world. Not only, I would say, Gen Z or are experiencing this, but even millennials that are a little later on in their age, still not married, are also facing this dynamics in the world. And so what is the difference of situationships? And we'll talk a little bit more about why people stay many times in this. But with intentional dating, and what do we say by dating? And should we date? And is dating good? Okay, so as we are talking about situationships, why do people stay in that if it's so like limbo? Yeah, maybe comfortable, but it doesn't lead to deep inside what we want, or what might lead people to stay?
Yeah, the first one I would say is fear of losing the other person. I think a lot of people have said that, oh, if I open up to her or if I open up to him, I might lose the friendship that I have. And there are a lot of people that mock those type of people, saying, oh, so you want the friendship and at the same time you don't want to share what's deep down in your heart. And that's very critical, because when you are getting into a relationship, there is always a risk factor, or when you are interested in someone, there is always a risk factor that they might not accept your relationship. However, I think it is better, this is me personally, it is better to know that they are not interested in me in that level and they are just seeing me as friends, than me being at a point like, oh, I don't want to lose this friendship, therefore I'm going to have my feelings, have my emotions tied, but I won't express it to them, and that makes it complicated. It is complicated in and of itself already, but when you're in a situationship, when you feel like you might lose the other person's friendship or something, then you're just living in fear, just enjoying the best times as much as you can, but there is no true inner satisfaction for you.
And the other aspect is many times fear of rejection. What if I say I'm interested in more than the other person says no? Then I would feel terrible. Not only that friendship might end, but maybe I will feel like I'm not good enough for them, or what is going on that they are not wanting me for more if I'm having the feeling. So that fear of being rejected might make us, and that happened multiple times, and I know of stories of even best friends that there was mutual interest, but one specifically was like in love and the other person would move on. They would share everything about their romantic relationships, and one day just before they got married, the person opens up like, I just want to let you know I've been in love with you, or I'm interested in more. And then the whole engagement or marriage breaks because they actually wanted, but because of fear of being honest and transparent from the beginning, they were going different ways, but in their heart linked to that person. And that could be damaging for a marriage, future marriage,
Absolutely.
that you're with someone, but it's like, I actually loved my best friend. So why live in regret or live sabotaging another relationship or another person's heart because of fear? Like that would be more
sure.
terrible
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah. Fear of rejection is a huge thing, especially people like me. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, but if you've gone through what I've gone through, you know what I'm talking about, right? The person shows a lot of attention, a lot of interest, which I shared a few minutes ago. They show all these things, And then they just come out and say, "Oh, well, I just saw you as a good friend," and one time it's okay, twice it's understandable because I read them wrong. But if you have that experience for with several people, thankfully, thank God, I didn't go through that. But in general, when people go through that a lot, they automatically develop the fear of rejection, right? And also, of course, there might be things from their childhood, not necessarily relationships, things that they have gone through and they've always felt rejected. So that also will lead them to the fear of having rejection. All that combined together will come to the next point, and that is low self worth. If you don't work on your self worth, if you don't work on yourself in the first place, bringing it to God and God help me to change the way I see things or whatever has happened in my past, I don't want to be focused on that, but I want to become a better person. If you don't work on yourself, you are going to have a low self worth, especially if you go through several rejections. And then you are well off just you would resort to situationships. You don't want to have any commitment. If the commitment itself brings itself to you, it's great. But if not, you are comfortable in the situationship, which is still not a deep foundation for your life.
And even when things become more real, I know for many, and if we're not ready for marriage, if we are really with that low self worth, scares us. So it's more comfortable to think I have the benefit of that emotional, maybe even physical connection and, affection and expression and vulnerability and openness. And like, it's like how people call it when you're confiding on each other. So it's like my confident and like all of these things are very they're cozy feelings. They're feelings of belonging, of that, like intimate space. So we are created to desire that. We are created to need those things, but in the wrong context, we are hurting someone else and we're lying to ourselves. And we're maybe hindering what it could be.
Yeah.
Hoping for that, but staying here because, I'm afraid of that. And it makes me think this whole situationship that from a very young age I experienced. I would be very, I like to talk and share and have deep, hard conversations. And I would connect with anyone. I had no issues connecting with guys because I grew up with a brother and I grew up with only guy cousins. So that was very natural for me to be friends with guys. And so I remember being like 11, 12, 13, and I would connect and just talk, and older guys, like 3 years older, and I just saw them as friends. I never imagined, even though I was a teenager, I never imagined, okay, this would be the type of guy I would be interested in. So I would just be a genuine, open friend. But multiple times in my life, in my teens and early 20s, I realized that if I was very connected emotionally and spending time and really listening and sharing and all of that, it created a huge bond. And then this other person had interest later on in me. So I was like, either I tell them no, but I keep that because I just enjoy the connection, or I back off because they are going to be hurt. And there was a guy that for years he waited and was like, everything was wait for me to be the age 18 so that he could date me, but I was not interested. So not only think about us, but also think how to prevent someone else to go through all of that heartbreak. And some things we cannot prevent. People build imaginations and dreams, and that's their responsibility.
Yeah.
But other things we also might have a role to play, and so it's something important to consider, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the next one I would say is attachment and chemistry. That people want to have a good chemistry, people want to have that emotional bonding really good, but this situationship is not going to let you have it fully. You just are temporarily every now and then when you connect, but it can be much more beautiful if it is fully embraced. But then that bonding, that emotional bonding, it cannot come out to its fullest because here you already have the fear of rejection, fear of leaving them, or they will leave you basically. all those things are going through your mind. You are unable to connect with them because of all of that. You just think, okay, whatever crumbs I receive, I will be happy with it. I don't need like the best. I will just enjoy whatever I have and move on with it.
Yeah. I think it's a huge fear of what you're saying, low self worth and all of those things. Desiring the attachment, but fear of commitment leads to situationships, or just, I don't know, like uncertainty of what you want. So you stay
Yeah,
with
yeah.
whatever is around. Like we started, it's the only thing I have to connect like this and it feels good, start chemistry. And the other thing is also, it can lead to, or we might stay in those situations or friendships because we are thinking and hoping one day everything will become great. So it's kind of like fantasizing about, oh, one day,
What could be?
we will move forward in life, or maybe we'll form a life together, and kind of fantasizing this nice moments with this person. How could it be?
And that's a huge problem because most of the times we don't have those headbutts, right? We are not going through issues, we are not working on things that we don't agree with. It's just nice to have this superficial connection. I'm connecting with you, but I will leave it at that. Oh, we can be physically intimate, but then you don't have to name what that is. And all those things that happens, and then here you are thinking, okay, one day he might tell me or she might tell me that they are interested, and then we can move on, move forward, because that sounds perfect, but are they really thinking about that as well? We never know. Many times guys can have sex without having that emotional connection with them, without having with women. They don't have to have that type of connection, but for women it's more needed because it is all interconnected. So usually, as you might have heard, that men have like boxes in the brain. For everything there is a box, and they take it out and put it back and all of that. But then for women, everything is connected to everything. So in that case, many times the fantasy thinking, I think, women have more than men. I'm not saying men don't have, but women fantasize more than men, because many times men are like, let me just get it, I will get as much as I can, but I don't have to worry about being committed in this relationship. So this fantasy thinking is nice, but when it comes to
It's a
reality,
lie.
it's,
Fantasy is
yeah,
a
when it
lie.
comes to
So
reality, you are not really experiencing, or you don't even know if you're going in that direction or
yeah,
not.
you don't even know each other for real life either, because only when you really start being intentional about your relationships is when things start to show up, and you can start figuring out more, how can we work together, how is conflict. The situationships can lead to just like the butterfly feelings, the cozy environment, the comfort zone, but not necessarily the real life process. So it's
Yeah.
understandable that it's the easy place to stay, but it's not reality, and it's not going to lead us where we actually want to be. And
Exactly.
that's the danger
Exactly.
of situationships. And
Yeah. The other thing is that when it comes to conflicts, if in case you end up marrying the person that you have the situationship and you have conflicts, that's going to be really terrible. Imagine all this time you have not really had real life experiences. You both have been living in some type of dreamland where you are fantasizing each other and all of that. But then once you come under same roof, all the things that you have, weaknesses you have, is going to come out, and the other person's weaknesses and the negative side is going to come out. It's No one is perfect, so when it comes out, how are you even going to handle it? Did you even want to marry that type of person in the first place? So all those are brushed under the rug if you are in a situationship, and especially if you're fantasizing about the whole situation you're in.
yeah, and I haven't researched or studied how it is, but I have this theory right now in my mind, is that I think mostly ladies many times initiate this, just because as ladies we yearn for emotional connection and just that friendship. And guys also many times feel lonely, and they might not have anything clear, or they might still be figuring out their purpose or their calling or their worth. So in that vulnerable space, with the ladies' needs, it's like you're okay with just having a friend, and many times ladies are okay with that connection even if they don't see anything beyond that. But most of the times guys will develop some affection or attraction to the lady in their life that they are connecting with. And so that's another dynamic. Like many ladies can be like, yeah, I can just have friends, period. But for guys, it can be
Yeah.
more, or sooner or later he might want someone else. Like,
He might open up.
yes, I mean that's at least my experience. Like I could be close friends, I thought, without having any intention for more, just enjoying the connection, the conversations, but the guy was thinking more than what I was thinking many times, multiple times. So then I had to be like, okay, I'm gonna back off, and I'm not gonna be like so close friend with opposite gender. And every time in my life I tried, I would say 90% of the time it developed more, and then yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
just
in most cases that's true. Most men, if they are with you, like just friends, it's not just friends. Someone is hoping that this girl will move forward, or sometimes in women also hoping that this guy will move forward so that we can get into a relationship or
yeah.
something. I don't know, we've shared this before. We've seen this compilation of videos of
Oh
this
yeah.
best friends or just friends, whoever, or besties. They, whether the guys, most of the videos that I've watched, at least, it is the girls initiating a kiss on the lips for the guys.
It's
and
true.
then and then when the girls do it, most of them reciprocated to it. They kissed the girls back. Some of them pushed the girls away, but most of them reciprocated, and some of them got married and all of that. So it shows how much we are fearful of taking steps. We are fearful of the commitment, but also we never know. We are just trying to be oblivious. We are not necessarily oblivious. We are trying to be oblivious to the other
Stay in
person's.
that comfort zone.
Yeah, and to not make them feel like, because you like their attention, you want to move forward, but at the same time, not that you want to move forward, you are interested, but you don't want to move forward because you don't want to have that commitment.
Yeah.
And therefore you're just enjoying the time, and it's all really nice, but then when the reality hits in, you have to react to it. And
Or you are not interested for more, but you like how you feel, and right now you don't have anyone else, so you're like, I'm gonna stay with this as my comforting emotional support until I found the one. But the danger comes that if you're in that, it might hinder you from seeing and connecting with the one. So that's a whole nother thing. But
yeah, I just want to share one more thing in regards to what you were sharing. It's so true, because there was this girl that was that would talk with me like good mornings, good nights, and all of that. And I shared with some of my friends, and I shared with my mentor. And one time a friend asked me, just tell her that you are interested in a girl. Well, let's see what she responds to it. She says, "Oh, you are too early to find a girl. No, you cannot be finding a girl right now. Try to figure out your life first, and then you see if anyone is interested in, or if you're interested in someone." But at the same time, she was also not interested in me in terms of getting into a relationship. Who are you to tell me not to get into a relationship, or if I'm not interested in
so
another
it
girl?
was possessive and not
Yeah,
good.
basically what you're saying is what I'm trying to prove through my experience, is that she likes the attention that I was giving. She was really interested in the other things that I was giving her, but she didn't want the commitment. She was not interested in me in that angle. But
Right.
now that if I didn't have any girl, but
Right.
if I find a girl and move
The
on,
attention from her would go away.
exactly.
I see, I see. No.
So,
So we can see that situationships is a huge reality in our world right now, and it has really sabotaged real relationships and good marriages. So what would be the opposite of situationships? How can we get out of it and not go to an extreme of like, okay, you have to know if you would marry them, and you need to speak to the parents like right away before you speak anything to the girl? Like, what is the balanced way? What do we see?
the balance, basically being intentional in the relationship.
Okay.
Is that what you're
So,
asking?
yes.
Yeah.
So, it's
So
like being intentional in the relationship or the dating.
yeah, I would say relationship. I mean, we are not against dating, but what does the dating entails? That's everyone's decision that they can decide however they want to do it. But in terms of relationship, you need to be intentional. It has to have a purpose that it is headed in a direction. If you don't have a purpose, then anything goes. You know, you can be fooled. You might be fooling the other person, and you might be wasting time. How long are you going to be waiting for the other person to take the step, or how long are you going to take the next step?
No, we'd love to talk about this, and I call it intentional dating, and I believe that's the full title of one of the chapters in my book, Learning to Love Intentional Dating. And dating, again, in our realm, we call it that building the friendship, getting to know someone. That's dating for us. It's not playing around. That's why we call it intentional dating, but intentional with knowing your value, knowing what you are looking for, knowing what values you want in your life, honoring God through healthy boundaries, and being super intentional to build a friendship and get to know someone. That is intentional building relationship or dating. So I believe that that should be encouraged a lot more in our society.
I
Being
agree.
intentional to get to know people, being intentional to build connections, because we're losing the skill of just building connections.
Absolutely,
And that's the
absolutely.
first step of a relationship, of a marriage, of any connection.
And also the social media doesn't help. Dating apps doesn't help. Again, we are not against social media or dating apps. Not that we recommend everything. It's between you and God. But everything has its place and everything has its pros and cons. You have to know if it will work for you or not. It's totally up to your discretion. We are not saying one way or the other. However, they do make or have an influence in your way of living. These days, how many young people can you actually connect with when you go out for a walk? Not necessarily, because most of them are on their phones or they are in their own world. You cannot even connect with them. Not just young people, anyone for that matter. Go to a restaurant. It used to be a time where you can just go sit down and chat with other people. Now it doesn't happen like that, because either I'm on my phone, I'm watching a video, or I'm playing video games, or I'm
Social
chatting with
media.
chatting with other people, social media. And as a result, we have lost the skills to connect with people in person.
I remember this podcast we were watching, and just there was like this relationship coach or dating coach trying to guide a girl in her first date, and it was so awkward. She was not being clear in how she felt, and kind of really boring in her life, because if we don't build real life things, then it's like, oh, I don't know, or like, and so there's not that connection and dynamic in a relationship. And so intentional dating, and that's why in my book I wrote like, how should your first date, second date look like to be intentional, to be like productive, not just like, oh, you're so cute, and then, oh, kind of getting to the cuteness, romance, and fairy tale right away, but getting to that, okay, yeah, we're getting to know each other, and yes, it's romantic, but who are you? What do you envision for life? What are you working on right now? Or 5 years from now, how do you see yourself? And what are some of your top hobbies? What do you like to do on your free time? Like, just get to know each other. And it's so funny because sometimes we don't even know what questions to ask. So I wrote down questions you can ask, and we encourage, even if needed, get a little practical box with questions that you can ask each other, so that you don't go blank and you're like, oh, I don't know what to ask. I don't want it to be awkward. So if needed, just bring a little nice box and be like, hey, can we ask each other some questions? So make it very real, but also very intentional. What is the point in the first couple times you meet someone? Get to know them. And in group settings, you can still ask questions. When we met, we were driving in a van. I would be close and asking questions. Everyone was there. Some listening, some sleeping, but it was like super intentional. I wanted to know this guy, so I was asking.
Yeah, and same thing went with me. I clearly knew she was asking questions for a reason, and I was able to give the answers because that is how it is supposed to be. And also, one of the things I really strongly dislike is these gurus that says, oh, I will teach you how to express yourself, or how to love, or how to find a girl or a guy, and all of that. I personally don't believe in those things. Do you need to improve on your communication skills? Absolutely. Do you need to improve on how you carry yourself? Absolutely. I'm not against that. But once it comes to like these love gurus telling you this is exactly what you're supposed to say. If you say this, that girl will fall for you. Or if you say that, the guy will be really impressed by you. Those are not the things that we encourage. At least I don't encourage it, because you need to be you. It's not a classroom setup where you'll be given an answer for everything for you to be able to do. You have your brain. God has given you a brain that will stretch you. If you messed it up the first time and the other person immediately rejects you because you messed it up once, they are not worth it. Because if they are immediately saying, oh, they gave a terrible answer, so I don't want to, I'm not interested in them, I don't want to go with them on a date, that shows that they are impatient. They are not long suffering. They're not willing to learn who the real person is. They are just there for great answers. And guess what? Great answers was given by Satan to Eve, and that's how Eve fell, right? And that's exactly what many of us want to hear, if that is how we are wanting to move forward. Genuine person that is really interested in you, even if you mess up, they will not be so upset, but they will try to understand more things or ask you more questions in the same aspect, so that they will know who you are and won't judge you based off of that one sentence or something you said. So much so that I'll just share this example, and I know you want to share something. When we were still learning about each other, we were not in a relationship yet, but we were intentionally spending time. We didn't speak about that, but I know she was interested in me and she knew I was interested in her. And one time we went to this walk, went for a walk as a group, and then I made a statement, and I thought it was funny. In my mind it was funny. I made that statement before, and people also were shocked that I made that statement, so I just thought, oh, it's funny. So I said, oh, people that are not married, marriage is like a toilet. People that are outside, they want to get into it, and then people that are in it want to get out of it immediately. Public toilet.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Public.
toilet, I thought of the actual, and I was trying to visualize it now, like the actual bowl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is public bath, public toilet, public bathroom. People that are outside it are in a hurry to go into it, and those that are in it are in a hurry to come out of it. I thought it was a great joke. I shared it with her. I don't know what she thought. What did you think? Do you even remember it?
Yes, I remember it, but I don't. I think I was like, okay, does he like marriage or he doesn't? Like, what is he wanting to say with this?
Yeah, exactly. She
Because
she didn't react much. I saw a confused face and also not that thrilled about it. But that didn't become a deal breaker for her. She continued to learn about me, right? So that's the whole point of it. Just because you messed up once or you said something foolish a couple of times,
Right.
that is not going to decide. If they decide based off of that, they're not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little like, wow, that's an interesting joke. And I was wondering, like, is he thinking marriage, once we're in it, we will want to get out? Like, is that his perspective of marriage? Or, yeah, so I was really thinking in depth.
But that was a running joke at that time. It's not like my personal opinion. It
Right,
was a
right.
joke.
You were not thinking so deeply in it.
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
analyzing, like, I do everything. So yeah. But it kept, even though I analyzed, we kept going and analyzing each other and realizing that we had more in common. And yeah.
Yeah.
So intentional dating really is the opposite of situationship. You are not in a comfort zone. You're more intentional to get out of your comfort zone because you have a purpose, a plan. You want it to be not just like, oh, let's see where this takes us, but you're more like, I'm really trying to be intentional, clear, and I'm willing to commit if this is the way. But at the same time, you're being intentional, but you're not being like strict and stressed and following rules. It's more like a natural development of the friendship, but you're intentionally putting the effort. You are intentional in asking questions. You're intentional listening. You're intentional in making time for it, showing up, putting the work, being honest. So you're intentional in all the right things, or in all the things that are important for a friendship to grow. And you're intentional to also be like, I enjoyed the time, or if things you need to back off, you're also going to be honest in being like, this is not something that I see God leading me, or I don't feel peace in this, but it was great meeting you, or it was nice hanging out with you, or I just, whatever. It's that.
That was my next point. If are
No,
you done?
yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay, that was my next point. Actually, that's the beauty of it. If you are intentionally in a relationship, you can also come out of it. Yes, it might hurt both parties or one party in this case, but at least you can be honest to yourself and be clear of everything, and you can step back. But in a situationship, you cannot do it. You're actually kind of stuck in it, because if you fall in love with another girl or another guy, what are you going to tell the other person that you have the situationship with? It's kind of like a complicated mess.
Yeah.
Where if you want to back off, what are you going to tell them? Like, hey, I'm seeing this girl, I'm seeing this guy, so I don't want to be intimate with you anymore, or I don't want to have that emotional connection with you anymore. What are you
Or
going
I
to
need
tell?
more space because that's, gonna protect my relationship now. So then the other person will get offended. They will feel like, oh, they don't love me anymore. So it's like a very toxic and dysfunctional dynamic. That's why we are not for situationships. We are for friendships and intentional dating.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That would change everything. So how can, let's say someone is in a situationship right now, how could they stop that pattern or get out of that stuck situation and start taking steps towards intentional connections and relationships?
I think the first thing immediately you will have to is back off from the situationship you are in. Of course, you don't have to be rude, arrogant, but first thing is, even before that, actually, the step before the first step is recognizing you are in a situationship and recognizing that it is a bad place to be in. It might look nice and fun right now. You're just entertained. You are getting what you want, but in the long run, it's not going to be worth it.
What if the person is interested in that situationship for more? Then that would be a different answer, correct?
Who? The one that is wanting to
So
come
the
out, or
person watching
yeah.
is in a situationship right now. They want to be unstuck, like not be stuck in that.
They
So
want to be unstuck, basically.
from
Yeah.
that. So there's two options, right?
Uh-huh.
If you want that relationship, you need to be very clear and honest. Hey, I appreciate your friendship, but I appreciate you for more. Is there anything more with us, or what is this leading to? So
Yeah,
asking the hard
absolutely.
question and defining that. If the other person is like, oh, I don't know, well, move on. If the person is like, actually, no, respectfully accept it and you
Back
move
off.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if that's not what you want at all, you're like, it's a good friend, but I'm not interested in more, then your counsel. Right? Like, come out from that. You need to
Yeah.
let go of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Either way, I think the core point, we are telling it in different ways. The core point is being open and honest to yourself. That's it. If you want to move forward and if you want to see if it is going to turn into a relationship, speak about it.
Yeah.
Talk to the other person. And if they say yes, or if they say yes, well and good. Move forward as into a relationship and name it a relationship. If you don't name it, anything goes. So remember that. Your heart might even go through a breakup if you don't name it, right? And the second thing is, if they're not interested, you're at liberty to move on in your life. You don't have to feel like you're stuck in it, because you have made your point very clearly, and you see it as going nowhere, but just the fun part. But that fun part is going to last only for so long. It's not permanent. It's just temporary. So you will have to back off and move on in your life.
Yeah.
Where you are actually valued, where your presence, where you as an individual, the other person can value and embrace you. That's where you need to be at. Situationship doesn't give you that.
Yeah, and it can be hard. Let's say you're like, I appreciate this friend. We have been friends for a while, but it has gone more than just friends. And I don't, I know this is not for more, but I do value the person. Yes, you can back up slowly, but again, I think we go back to, you have to be very honest with yourself, with our history, with what we've had. If I back off, is it a healthy friendship and is it okay? Or if I move forward with someone else, will that be okay, or will it be still something that will be in between me and the future person God has for me. So that's just some things to evaluate prayerfully and very genuinely and open. Like how would I feel if my future husband has a situation with a girl, and how is that now? So you have to think not only in your side, but how would the other person feel, and that would help you make the decisions accordingly.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're in a situationship, you can come out of it, and we need to remember to build that self-worth, knowing our values, so we're not
For
just
sure.
settling for the crumbs that someone gives because it's our only hope that we currently have, but know what I want, who I am, what I want to build for my life and my future. And then move forward step by step
Absolutely.
without fear of losing what is not even yours. And that's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's huge. That's huge that the fear takes over our lives, and the devil wants to keep us under that deception, thinking that, oh, if we lose them. If that is not for you, lose them. There is a saying back home, maybe it is in English as well, I don't know. If you throw something that you love even to the sea, if it is meant for you, it will come back to you. It doesn't matter where you throw it, whatever, as long as it is meant for you, it will come back to you. And the same thing is with love. If you think that that person, you believe that God has kept that person for you, that person will come back to you. But if they don't come back, don't be worried about it. God has the best person for you. You need to stay on that. You need to build your foundation on that. Now, if you feel like this is the only one, then you're going to lose out on someone that will truly appreciate you and value you.
Yeah, yeah. And so, okay, now we move forward for the situationship one way or another. Well, especially if we're moving away from it, that's not what we see God leading. Then how can we start in the direction of intentionality, building those friendships, those,
That's the answer. Building friendships.
all right.
You need to
So
build friendships.
how people, I have clients that ask me, how can I connect? How can I ask questions? Like, how does it work? When do I talk? When do I not? So it's like the very dynamic. How can we visualize that?
So there are two things, right? Number one, you're working on yourself. You are working to become a better person. Not because you have low self-worth, but because you want to become better at communication. You are learning different things. You are trying to become a better person. And with God's grace, you will become a better person. That's one thing. Simultaneously, you go to different gatherings, young people gatherings. Like there is a program called Generation of Youth for Christ that happens every year during New Year's time. You can go attend that program. There is a group called Meetup. I don't know if you've heard of that. Meetup is a website where different people gather together. It is of different things, education, cooking, and whatever. You can also be part of one of the meetup groups. Go to places where there are more people. Try to connect with people in person. You don't have to have a game, that people use these days. Just be genuine. Just be yourself. That is working on becoming a better person. Connect with those people.
And not trying to show off like, oh, I'm the guy of the year, or I'm the
Exactly.
girl that, is the prettiest or the smartest, but really be you. Be genuine and so intentional. From what I'm hearing from you is like, just be intentional in going to gatherings so you can meet people, going to gatherings so you can connect, and be intentional in building connections. So locally in your community, going to places online or in person, just looking for opportunities where you can be a friend and where you can find friends.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing, this might be a little too extreme, but I think it'll be helpful for you if you are intimidated by this thing. This is to push your boundaries. Go by yourself to these fast food restaurants, wherever you go. Go by yourself. Don't take your friend with you, because once you have a friend, what happens is you're just comfortable, and you're in your bubble, and you don't have to come out of it. But if you're really wanting to develop good friendships, good skills of communication and connection with other people, go by yourself. Go by yourself. That'll push you to talk with
What do you
people.
mean fast food? Like, go by yourself?
To anywhere,
Oh,
anywhere.
okay.
I'm just saying fast food as an example. Anywhere. We become we become toned down and we are just in our own bubble doing our own thing when we have a friend with us. But let's say, for example, you go to McDonald's or Burger King. Not that I'm recommending that, I'm just giving it as an
Like
example.
you're
Oh,
in
you're
an
going to
event, you're
or an
going to
event.
an event and
Yeah.
you're going out for a restaurant.
No,
Oh,
no, no, no.
oh.
Just wherever you go by yourself. Sometimes make it intentional. You want to eat out, you want to go and eat out in a restaurant, let's say Olive Garden, or wherever. Go by yourself. Then don't have your phone with you, don't have a friend with you. It will push you to either talk to the waiter, waitress, whoever, other people. You can observe other people. So you're automatically breaking out of your comfort zone, and you are going to, like, it is going to grow you into a different person than just being a safe person that doesn't have to grow or is not being pushed.
We have very different personalities. He can go anywhere and build great friendships with whoever in the restaurant. I wouldn't be like that. So for more introverts, I would say go to an event, yes, by yourself and find someone that you can sit down by, ask who they are, or go to a group and just interact. So it's not like so a random by yourself, but it's like you go and
That's why I
so
said it can be a little extreme,
yeah.
but
And there's different ways. You don't have to do the extreme. You can do things that are out of your comfort zone, but in a different setting,
different
I
setting.
guess.
Yeah, yeah. There are
So,
different levels.
yeah.
You can use it. Yeah, absolutely. If you wanna, as Debbie said, if you find someone, but the basic point is don't go with someone that you already know or you're already friends with. That's the point.
No, that you feel comfortable. And that's the thing that I recommend to my girls when it comes to coaching is like, if there's an invitation for a gathering, if there's an event going on around, be it in your town or in your church, don't isolate yourself and be like, I don't know anyone or I don't feel like going. Just break the ice and go. Connect with someone, or if there's someone you coming to your church or to your work, connect. Reach out. Not because you're trying, because not necessarily it's the opposite sex. It can be an old grandma, a grandpa, it can be a kid, anyone. Just get accustomed to reaching out, greeting, asking, getting to know people, and being friendly. So that would be like the first step.
And that's how you develop social skills too.
Yes.
Communication, social skills. You break out of your bubble, and it pushes you to the next step.
Yes, and I'm so excited because I saw this in real life with one of my girls. She's more introvert and more shy, and it was sometimes awkward, but I was like, do it, you can do this. And she started to put her effort, and then she was used to just the dating that is more like just romance, but I was like, you gotta date to get to know someone. You gotta build a foundation, because if not, it's like you build the relationship on a fairy tale that you're not even sure you know the person and you want them, but you're already advanced. So I was like, we gotta change that. So the first date I actually recommended for her specific case, I was like, just go with a good friend. Meet the guy with a friend for the first meeting time and get the feedback from that friend. So you're not just following your default mode. So breaking the default modes we have and being intentional is huge. And we are happy to say that after she put her effort and broke those patterns and was intentional, the guy was also intentional. They were two committed Christians, and they are now happily married. We're so excited, so proud of them. But it took effort, it took determination to change the pattern, to come out of those comfort zones, default modes, and be like, I truly want something different. I don't want to keep getting older year by year with the same pattern. I want a date for marriage. I want it for my family. I want to be more committed in this journey. So
Yeah.
that's what we are encouraging every viewer. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're like, I haven't dated, I'm hoping for a husband or wife, but I haven't even been intentional in connecting, or I am involved in the situationships and it's just kind of complicated and I'm not sure how to move forward in life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with that, we'll go to the next step, because we just have been speaking about the first step. The next step is analyze the other person and see if there is someone of interest that you find in the setting, whichever setting, whether at a restaurant or whether at the event or wherever. Try to find if there is someone that might be of an interest. Don't fall for them immediately. develop that friendship, have a strong friendship, grow that friendship, then only your marriage or your relationship will be solid. If not, the second you get into that emotional bond immediately, the problem is everything else is a blur. You just think everything is perfect, and it is not. So develop that friendship and analyze them. You don't have to come to a conclusion, oh, just because we are friends we have to end up together. It's not a force. You're analyzing and developing that friendship. As you develop that friendship, you will know if this will work or not. What if it works out? What could be the next step?
So the next step is, well, definitely, I believe that doesn't matter if it's girl or guy, you can express and be intentional. You don't have to be so passive as a girl that you don't even let the guy know that you're happy with spending time, you're showing that you're putting effort. So don't lead on a consistent basis, but a little leading from both sides is the healthy way. So it shouldn't be always the guy and a passive girl, and it shouldn't be always the girl initiating. So the initiation should kind of flow from both sides. Allowing the guy to express and to show, like, I am interested, so that you as a girl can know that, this is going somewhere, but not being so passive and afraid to express and to initiate a hi or bye or kindness that you're not even being yourself. So the point is, be yourself, get out there, meet people, see if you connect with someone, keep learning about them. And then I would say is be intentional in learning about each other. So not only ask questions, but do things together. Find opportunities where you can maybe go on a mission trip together, or you can serve in your church in something together, or you can, I don't know, visit a group of friends, like do an outing or camping or whatever it is that you can interact more in a way that is giving you the opportunity to continue building in a group setting that connection.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much it, because
So after that,
your
yeah,
relationship.
the guy hopefully will speak up, and if not, you can keep moving on and seeing what God has for you. So
And I just want to reiterate that one point Debbie was sharing is that, girls, if you are interested, let the guy know. You don't have to say, hey, I'm interested, but give hints at least for the guy to know that you are interested. All these girls that are not interested, they make it look like they are interested. And then the girls that are interested, they are so closed and be like, oh no, I cannot initiate, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. And then the guy has no clue. If you give him a clue that you are interested, it'll be like a huge, what do you call, a victory for him.
let me ask a fun question. What were the first cues I gave you?
I think the first cues was when you were actually open to even learning German with me. That was a huge thing for me.
So he asked
Because-
me, by the way, he was like, can you teach me German? And I was like, I don't really know German, but I know an app. So I
And we
said,
can
yeah,
learn
we can
together."
learn together. I could have given him the app, like, hey, here's the app, you can learn. But I was interested as well. So yeah, that was my first hint.
So that was very clear for me. And the next step between us was that we stopped learning German and we started learning about each other. And then the third one is that when I sang this song, the Tamil romantic song, and one day she said that she knows the meaning of the song, but she didn't get upset with me. So those were consistently revealing things to me that you were also interested in me. You didn't tell me that you're interested in me, but you took the time to spend time with me. You, like, as a group, and you would invite me when there was things happening. You and your brother were doing different programs. You invited me specifically. So a lot of clues, not clues, but you were very open, showing that
Yeah,
you are
without
interested in me.
saying it, like, I'm interested in you, but I would say, like, it would be so nice if you could come. It would mean a lot. Or if he would come, then, like, oh, you made my day. It was so good. So I would express how much it meant. I would be intentional in, yeah, just being a
And
friend and letting him know I value you. I like spending time with you. I want you.
And then what topped it off was the Thanksgiving card.
I was waiting for that because that was kind of my top. We had been already for like 3 months. I started sensing a lot from him, and I wanted to be very clear. I value you, but I didn't know how to say it, so I waited for Thanksgiving. I wrote a card for everyone that came to the meal.
Everyone.
We were a group like of 4. So I wrote to everyone a Thanksgiving card and to him as well. So it was not like, oh, I'm just giving you. I gave everyone, but I have been for a couple weeks getting ready how much I would express my affection without saying I love you or I want you, but
Yeah, yeah, that definitely gave it off even more clearly. I think 2 weeks later, I opened up to her.
I think I said one of my greatest Thanksgiving gifts is having your
Yeah,
friendship.
it
And
was a
so
love letter without having the word love there. Like saying that she loved me.
So there's so many hints you can give, and it's not even hints. It's like open, clear communication without giving yourself completely like, I love you, do you love me? Or like, hey, I want a relationship with you. And so if he didn't get it and in the next few weeks he would not have open up to me, I had two options. Either back off because, maybe he's not, even though he was also reciprocating and I was reciprocating to him. Like it was a mutual dance going on. Or I was going to be like, hey, I just need to guard my heart. I don't want to get confused. So I would have openly told him that and back off.
Yeah. So you have a real life example. If you girls can show a little bit of a hint that you might be interested or you are interested in the guy, that'll go a long ways. The guy will definitely, if he's interested in you and if he's not playing with your heart, he will open up soon to you.
But a little disclaimer, don't overly give hints without seeing him also giving hints.
Exactly.
And sometimes it doesn't work like in our case. In our case, we were both intentional and interested, so it worked. In other cases, I might throw a hint and I feel he throws me a hint, but then it kind of fades or is stuck or it disappears. So those are just like it can seem like hints, but maybe it's not real intentional desire that is mutual. So it's a journey, and we both experienced a lot of that we thought were clear hints and were not. So not only hints, but be intentional, prayerful, and God will lead you. So
Yeah. Well, with that, we have come to the end of this episode, and we hope and pray that you definitely and clearly see the difference between situationship and intentional relationship. And we pray that God will lead you. If you are in a situationship, we pray that God will lead you. If you're not in a situationship and you're looking forward to an intentional relationship directly, we hope that this episode was a blessing to you. And yeah, we will see you in another episode. I am Martin, this is Debbie. We are
the
the
Raj
Raj family.
family.